That is a song called Skin and Bones, featuring No Promises, two young folk that we have adopted as our own, Janine Garvey and Eric Collier, both very skilled in the art of songwriting and performing, Robert.
They are indeed. Love their work. It's just saying off-air of an album of theirs, and I played a song on Wednesday morning. Yes, I did, just gone, and I'll probably do some more in the future because it's very listenable stuff.
And how good was it that we were able to get through the script that Eric wrote for us about how good they are without him even knowing? Hello, Eric.
Good morning. How is everyone?
We're hot, good, damn hot, real hot. It's pretty warm where we are. You're down in South Gippsland, I assume?
I am, yes. I'm in Venice Bay.
And is it hot down there yet?
It's comfortable at the moment, but I think it's going to get hot.
Damn hot, real hot. Now, we wanted to talk to you because we like talking to you, but specifically, you may have spent a little bit of time at a festival in the centre of New South Wales in recent days.
Where it's much, much hotter, in Tamworth.
Yeah, so not much going on in Tamworth at this time of the year, I wouldn't have thought.
No. It's organised chaos.
Eric, on that, it's a famous Australian musical landscape event talked about by many for many years, but we get the sense that it's traditional country and western. Your style, I wouldn't have called that. Do you have to write a particular new song to get a ticket into the event, or is it broadening its music style?
I always thought that I wasn't country until I heard songs that were described as country, and I thought, hang on, that's kind of similar to me. So I think country these days is the horizon has been much broadened, I reckon.
And that probably might be just as simple as some artist who's a genuine country artist and then does something a little bit different in their music, which we're going to talk about later in this discussion today. And then because they are a country artist, even though that song is not necessarily within the theme, it still fits into the scale. Would that be maybe how the boundaries have been moved?
Possibly. I think the way I've described it previously, and I'm not sure if this is accurate, is country music, mainstream country music these days, is the kind of music that I used to listen to on the radio before, the commercial radio music that's being played evolved into something else. It's the kind of stuff that I like to listen to, in other words. And it's now been called country. So, whereas previously, I don't think it was.
Well, I think the other thing is, you referred to country and western. I think country and western was a particular genre within country. I think country has broadened because the western bit has dropped off. We had the good fortune, Eric, to talk to a bloke who I think may even go to the same hairdresser as you, Brian Cadd. And we asked him the question because he brought an album called Dream Train. If you haven't heard that yet, do yourself a favour. And there is stuff there that is absolutely country. And we asked him, what makes a song country? Where does something cross that line? And his comment was, it's always about telling a story.
Yeah, definitely story songs. Definitely story songs. And I guess, even folk music is story songs as well. So there's like a blending of genres kind of thing.
Because I think if you go back to the traditional country and western, it involved one of two things every single time. Banjo or slide guitar.
Yeah.
It had one or both, right? And
yeah.
The stuff that you and Janine do, there's the occasional squawk of a slide guitar, but broadly speaking, it's not that stereotypical country and western thing.
Yeah, and I guess these days there isn't a huge amount of that.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of stories.
And the other side of that too, Australia's own Keith Urban has probably taken country music into almost pure rock and roll with the way he goes at it. So again, because he's deemed to be a country artist, then that's where it fits. But a lot of the stuff he does, I wouldn't have put anywhere near a country banner.
Yeah, country rock. But like I said, it's the kind of music that I kind of like to listen to when I was a kid on the radio to a degree. Whereas that's not really mainstream music anymore. It's been called country.
Yeah. And you think back to Eagles. Like Eagles, when they came through, a lot of their stuff was considered country rock, wasn't it? And they kind of, I guess, almost invented that genre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I love listening to the Eagles, great inspiration, just the playing, the harmonies, the stories in the songs.
Probably America's another band that were on that cusp.
Amusingly, a band that was based out of London.
Yeah.
And do you know why they were called America?
No.
All of them were the offspring of American officers who had been posted in London. So they formed a band and called it America. Little piece of trivia that you didn't think you'd get.
Did not know that.
Yeah, there you go. Now, Eric, one of the other things that I think is great, and it leads us back to the conversation, I've seen a number of Instagram posts and Facebook stories and stuff from Tamworth where whilst you have the Eric Colliers and the Janine Garveys of the world walking the streets, you're also seeing Gina Jeffries and Becky Cole walking down the same street. It seems to be a very egalitarian and very accessible environment for everyone.
That's what I've discovered. I always thought there'd be a hint of that, but you can approach, the stars, for the want of a better term.
The more well-known.
Yeah, the more well-known, and they're happy to have a chat with you.
As they should. And when I brought those groups together, I was, of course, assuming that those people I mentioned were looking up to you, not the other way around, of course.
They're going, who's that?
That's right. It's Brian Cadd. Oh, no, it's not. Hey, I tell you what, just a little... In a couple of weeks' time, the 14th of February, we are interviewing on this very program, in this very time slot, Melinda Schneider, if you don't mind.
Oh, wow.
So I'll let her know that she's filling in for you.
Of course.
Yeah, so Schneider's up in a few weeks. Put that in your diary. Oh, yeah, we're old mates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So not only were we, because I spoke to both Janine and Eric during the week, and because I spoke to Janine, that's why Eric is on the phone, because she's on. No.
She chickened out.
Yeah, no, she
passed it off.
She passed it off to Eric because not only was Eric up there for the Tamworth Music Festival, you were also part of a very important activity before that, I understand.
Yes, a songwriting academy.
Talk to us. Tell us what that is.
An intense experience, primarily concentrating on songwriting and performing the songs that you write.
In a room with how many people?
Well, I think there's 8 in each group, and there are 3 groups. And
that's 24, Rob.
Yeah. So there was quite a few of us, and we got to write with well-known country people, songwriters, performers, and then we had to perform the songs, which is a bit of a challenge for me because I'm not one who easily remembers lyrics. So I had to try and remember the lyrics of my song on performing night, which was quite stressful, but I got there.
Well, there's a bloke who gets a program on this radio station every Saturday afternoon. His name is Elvis Presley. And there is a famous piece of footage of him singing My Way. And he says, do you mind, folks, if I read the words? I can't remember them. And he pulls out a pair of specs and he that's what you should have pulled that one. And opened it with, as a tribute to Elvis Presley, I'm going to do this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, have that one up your sleeve for next time.
Yeah, definitely. But I put a lot of work in, which I don't normally do, and that's something that, I really was able to, look into further, was the amount of effort that people put in, and rehearsal and writing and adjusting their songs and adjusting the lyrics, and the amount of effort that goes into before they perform, put on a concert. It's staggering. I'm inherently lazy, so I don't do all that stuff, or didn't. I am going to now.
Eric, that's a perfect segue into a question I was going to ask you about.
Yeah.
When you said about you write the song and then you perform the song, and you see some artists who are writing a song because it's a good way to make a quid and they're happy with it, and then they sing the song and it sounds good. And then there's artists who sing songs with passion. They've written a song that's important to them and the lyrics are meaningful to them. And when they present the song, they do it in a way where you are completely absorbed. You're totally in the moment with them because you can feel them singing the song. That to me is a subtle, important difference in the presentation of what you write, as opposed to just writing a song.
Yeah, that's right. I guess to a degree you're feeling the song as well. You've written the song. Song is part of you. The story might not be autobiographical, but it's part of the person who wrote it, and when you perform it, you can't help but show that.
Yeah, I think one of the great biographical songs is "You're So Vain" by Carly Simon, and I think it's on the record that there are 7 different people that she's writing it about. So I guess it's the ability to bring together life experiences, not say her name was Janine and she sang vocals in a band, but to actually bring together elements to bring in a story.
Well, that's what you're doing when you're writing a song, is you're bringing in elements of experiences, elements of imagination, elements of emotion, and you're crafting that all into some words, over the top of some music, into a melody, into a story song.
And you certainly hope that during this very passionate singing of the song, you wouldn't forget the words. You might lose some of the passion.
Yeah, that's right. And that's another thing, when you're reading words off a bit of paper, you kind of compromise somewhat in your delivery.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. So here's a moment for you to bask in the glory of your achievement, and we don't want false modesty. If there are 27 million people in Australia and 24 of them got to go to Tamworth to be part of the CMAA Songwriters Academy, how come you got chosen? Did you apply? Were you nominated? Did you pay? I mean, how'd you get in?
I applied.
Yeah.
Actually, Janine applied for both of us.
Right.
And she, because I was supposed to do it myself, and being inherently lazy, never got to it. And so Janine did mine, and Janine did hers, and I got in, and she didn't, which was a bit weird because I reckon it would have suited her better than it would have suited me, even though I got a great deal out of it, and it was a life-changing experience. So that's how I ended up at the academy. It was Janine applied for me.
Okay, so there was obviously some degree of recognition of where you were already on your musical journey. It wasn't just a case of drawing names out of a hat.
I don't think so. No, I think they got more applicants than they've ever had, and so it was pretty tight competition to get in.
Oh, well done you.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm shocked that I got in, to be honest.
So were the other 23 participants.
And it's no point asking you what do you think won them over, because Janine's probably the person we need to ask that question to.
Well, maybe we had to present a video of us performing a song live, and I think the one I presented is a song I wrote years and years ago, and I kind of stuck around on guitar a little bit on it, so maybe it was that. I sing it well, perform it well, but there's a little bit of guitar stuff in there that probably looks a bit more tricky than it really is.
Either that or they thought, this bloke needs help.
That's right. We can get.
Now, before we let you go, because you've got things to do on a warm day, we have had a text come in from a listener, and it related to the comment that you made that you're inherently lazy. From now on, you're going to change the way you operate. And this listener, whose name is Janine from somewhere in South Gippsland, says, now it's on the record, he now has to rehearse.
Something like that. I don't really rehearse anything. I don't practice.
Well, you are now, because it's on the record, according to Janine.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah, so bad luck to you, another teacher.
Eric, just on the writing of songs, as some easier than others, and I'm always intrigued by the lived experience stuff, is when you have that moment, that story, and it may be that you've run into some clown in a supermarket somewhere and it's left an indelible imprint in your brain, but a lived experience song's easier to write or harder because you want to get it right?
It can be both. Some songs just pour out of you. They're just there. You're done in like 10, 15 minutes. Other songs, there's songs that I've started that I haven't finished yet from years ago. So yeah, it can be hard, but I guess you're always trying to get it right. You want it to be good, so that's why you probably take a bit longer with it.
I'm really intrigued by the number of songwriters I've heard say exactly what you said. They'll start something and 4, 5, 6 years later they'll go back, they'll revisit, and whatever was blocking the mind all those years ago, something opens up, and the second phase of the writing of the song comes really simply and easy, and it comes together and they're really happy with it. But you're constantly creating starts to things and putting them on the back burner.
That might just be a matter of you've lived a new experience which relates to the story that you're trying to put across. And so now you've experienced that, it's easier to articulate.
Well, with the idea that Rob's just put in your mind about some clown at the supermarket, we are going to go out from this conversation with your brand new single, I Dropped Some Eggs in the Self-Serve Checkout. No, we're not. We're going to have a song that was on The River, I think off the top of my head, I'm going to say track 11 of The River, a song called Coming Home.
Yeah, that one, we wrote that one literally in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, don't tell the good folks at the CMA Songwriting.
How good your memory. I played track number 8 on Wednesday morning.
That would have been... Badlands.
No, that's number 6, I reckon.
Is it?
I played that previous week.
Eric, we are thrilled that you were able to participate in the Songwriting Academy. We were thrilled that you got your first gig at Tamworth. Next year, I'm led to believe that you have Becky Cole, Melinda Schneider and Gina Jeffries as your support act as you close at Tamworth. Is that true?
As long as you're our manager, yeah. Sure as you want it to be.
Righto, mate. Well, we'll talk to you soon. Here they are, No Promises, folks. You can find everything you need to know about these guys at nopromises.com.au. They're on Facebook. They're on all those other things as well. Thanks, Eric. We'll chat soon.